Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, men, women of all different shapes and sizes, welcome. Welcome back to another stream. Are you guys doing good? I hope so. I really do. As you can see, we have a conspicuous duck on my screen. We're going to watch three videos. Not one, not two, but three. Maybe four. But right now, three. It's a new dawn, a new era. Silk is going to start spreading his fibers across the universe, across time itself, existence, in fact, from the beginning to the end. I don't like animals. I'm looking at my dog and he looks at me. He looks at me very disrespectfully. Oh my God, yeah, it's a bathroom. You know what I'm saying? The problem is animals, you have to learn how to read an animal, just like you have to learn how to read another individual, a person, right? This freak, this creature of mine, thing that hardly listens. And it's not his fault. It's my fault because he is taught by me. I exuberate loser, right? And my animal knows that. He knows I could be dominated, spit on, rubbed through the dirt, but not anymore. It's time for me to be the man that I was supposed to be, the dominant one, the overtop one, the one who's able to grab the dog like this, looking into his eyes, and let peace be peace. He wants to leave because he's been in the room all day, but I can't trust him. I can't trust him. I've told him that multiple times. I can't trust him. He goes around and he does things that he's not supposed to, things that I don't want him to do. But he's my one love. Come here, come here, come here. Say what's up to the folks. That's his body right there. Little rat dog. You're so warm. You're so warm, buddy. What's that? What's that? Why are you so warm, huh? And to think, his little legs couldn't handle jumping off this height. Son of a bitch. Get out of here. Fucking fucking piece of like literal garbage, bro. Why do I love that thing? Why do I love it? That's the problem. It fucking sucks ass. Let's get started, man. Let's get started. Hope you guys are doing good, man. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling real good today. Um, what do I need? What do I need? Nothing. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Let's get into watching these motherfucking videos. Um, let's fucking do this, man. Let's fucking do this.
On this planet is becoming a viral meme. In the
Also, shout out to the Dirk. That's him right there. The Dirk. I appreciate you. You are the one.
Depends if you went viral,
Oh,
your life
don't
would
look
be
at that.
set, you would be
That's
on
not
Ellen
supposed
the
to be
next
till
day,
later.
and you were treated like this god tier celebrity. But in 2026, people, one of the most
My bad. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. That's good enough, right?
Hit or miss things on this planet is becoming a viral meme. In the 2010s, if you went viral, your life would be set, you would be on Ellen the next day, and you were treated like this god.
That's not necessarily true. That was a very small selection of people that was able to garner that level of success. And I think Damn Daniel, maybe Backpack Kid, and the yodeling kid from Walmart, right? Goats, people that we grew up with, the OGs. I will say we are going to be the OGs of the internet, right? I don't care what nobody says, you know. Um, we did have brain rot. We had brain rot, right? I'm not gonna sit here and act like we didn't. You know what I'm saying? We absolutely had brain rot. We most certainly grew up with a lot of garbage. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. You know, um, what was it? He wasn't necessarily bad content, but iDubbbz was pretty cringe back then. He was pretty cringe. He was funny, but there were some cringe moments. You know what I mean? What else? What else? What else? What else? MLG, that shit was ass. That shit was ass, people. Let's be 100% honest. Back then, hit like a motherfucking dime. Mountain Dew, pizza, explosion. Oh baby, a triple. I remember that. I went back to go watch one of those straight cancer to the retinas. I genuinely watched it and it was hard to watch. Not in the sense of like, I was like, damn, this might be worse than Skibidi Toilet. At least Skibidi Toilet has substance, right? At least Skibidi Toilet. I could say it has. Nah, I'm sorry, that shit's ass, bro. I can't garner enough strength to say that because I looked at Skibidi Toilet and this shit is ass, bro. This shit is ass. It's become, and you know how it's. I say it's not as bad because you don't see MLG getting thrown into the how do I say it, the TV world, right? The TV world, right? MLG stayed on the internet. It stayed on the internet. It stayed within that bubble. Skibbity Toilet, you at least had Skibbity Biden. This shit was ass, because these are uncultured fucks that are trying to relate to us as audiences. Maybe it works because you're grabbing the cornballs, the nuts, the crumbs, right? The crumbs. We're not crumbs. Me and you are not crumbs. We're the full bread. We're the full loaf. The baguette, as some might say. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Bro, what am I talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you're watching, if you're not, thank you for watching. I wanted to fix that. There we go. But no, seriously though, it was pretty ass. I'm gonna be honest. It was pretty ass. I went back to go watch it, like this shit is ass. Same thing, like there's a lot of these things that we had that was just like this shit was terrible. This shit was terrible, and we all know that. We all know that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, with a lot of those things, then you had like maybe like a few smaller one-off ones. I'm trying to think of like some other ones. It's weird because I was chronicling on the internet, right? But I can't say I remember a lot of those things. I think these are the ones that just kind of just stuck with me. But I think the yodeling kid, that kid actually was able to use his memeage and actually garner success even to this day. Um, Backpack Kid, I think he literally said he struggled with, the whole like, letting the business thing and, eventually trying to scale up from that and not only become the Backpack Kid, you know, but now I think he does music, so cool. And then Damn Daniel, I have no fucking clue. But nonetheless, bro has a lifetime supply of bands, So um just resell them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Just resell them motherfuckers. What? Motherfucker? Oh, brand new vans, come on, bro. You just buy them motherfuckers, bro. Buy them motherfuckers. Resell them bitches, bro. Resell them motherfuckers, bro. Find a shell, of course. You gotta find a shell. When I mean shell, I mean an individual, a person. You know what I'm saying? They can't know what the plug is. I get it from some guy. Somebody gonna slip up. Somebody gonna slip because they're fucking worthless. They don't understand that this is a business at the end of the day. If we can't have weeks uh, within the company. But like I said, at least those are the ones that I know that are able to do something. And then you have something. I think then you have somebody that was like I think his name was like Ugly God. Ugly God. If you know who he is, he was a black guy who I think was known for like meme rapping. He was known for like meme rapping, right? And with that meme rapping, it became I think he actually was able to utilize it and actually become like an actual rapper. You know what I'm saying? Or at least somebody that was actually able to gain success and actually be able to separate himself from that thing. I think he used to also like put like lizards on his nose, like let them bite his nose and he used to hang it, you know what I'm saying? He's called himself like ugly guy or something like that. So, you know, the thing is that I've noticed that when people do a lot of these meme things, one, it gets to the point where also these nuts, um, I think he also was able to garner some kind of success, but it ultimately kind of like fell off. Compared to all the ones, at least the ones that I'm mentioning right now, at least I think he's the one that I know fell off the hardest. You know what I'm saying? But I guess let's see what he says. Let's see what he brings up.
Tier celebrity. But in 2026, people just turn you into a joke and a week later forget about your existence. It can really help or hurt your career online. But it could also hurt you if you're trying to be an established creator and people can't take you serious because they know you for a meme. Becoming the one-hit wonder, for example, like that shit is garbage. When you have no internet presence and you become a one-hit wonder, people will only associate you with that meme for pretty much the foreseeable future
So,
until you top that moment. You do something even bigger than that, or something that goes more viral. But sometimes people can't do that. But yeah, you'll be relevant for
Baby was another. I guess she's another example of that. She was able to garner some success. It's OnlyFans, but I mean, nonetheless, I mean, still, she's a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna knock on the girl for having that. You know what I'm saying? I think it ultimately destroyed her in the end. If I'm gonna be honest. So I think now she's also what is it? She got a lot of augmentation, but hey, that's her at the end of the day. Do what you gotta do. I feel like, at that point, I think she felt that the need to do that. Unless she just had the opportunity. She's like, fuck it, why not? Was it something that she maybe used to put in a business? I think it ultimately helped for sure. But hey, fuck it, she made money. Oh shit, little Tay. That's even another example. Crazy that people were waiting for her to become 18. Think you all need to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? But these are kind of those. I guess those are another of those sides. Actually, now I think about it, I'm trying to think of like famous internet girls that blew up. I actually don't know. I actually don't know. You hear so much about the guys, you never actually know. At least these are only two that I can think of. And then Bad Baby is the one that's Catch Me Outside Girl. Little Tay is You're Broke, I'm Not. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I actually don't know. I'm actually curious. I'm actually now curious on like famous internet girls that blew up and then just kind of fell off. Obviously, I think the newest age one would be. I think it was like that one girl that had like the dry podcast. I forgot her name, and then talk to a girl. But those are like that gap is huge. There had to have been a
15
couple.
minutes, it
Had
feels
to have been
like.
a
But then
couple.
if you don't capitalize on it quickly, the fame you
Maybe
have is gone and no money
motherfucking
will be
T.
made. Personally, I would want some sort of compensation. Like, who wouldn't want to get paid from getting trolled by the internet? There's really many different things that could happen when you become a meme. You could go viral for a catchphrase. I feel like this has got to be the thing that's
There
forgotten the
she go.
quickest. And it gets burnt the
Hot
fastest
master.
because
How
people
about that?
spam it so much. And in about a year's time, some people might still say this catchphrase to you because you made it, and you're just gonna be sick of it at that point. The most recent example I can think of is this dude that went viral for saying "dat big ass" and "dat bit tough." I can only imagine what it's like. Every time he eats something, are his friends gonna troll him and say that to him? Or maybe even random people as well, if he gets recognized. But if we're pushing like 6 months to a year and people are still saying my meme in public, I feel like it would just get stale. But everyone's preferences are different with jokes getting old. I don't know how people who became memes feel about their jokes like years later. At least majority of the people have to be tired of it. And
Bubble
sometimes
bath.
people would even get recognized in public for the meme. Sounds great on paper, like, wow man, I'm a viral internet star, but nah man. Especially if you're a private person, that sounds like hell. At least to me, it feels like more of a viral joke opposed to you yourself going viral. And you happen to be the joke. It could be a good or bad thing, depending on what the meme is. It's the fame for about a week without the money. And if your face was in the viral TikTok or whatever it was,
I actually thought that was kind of a funny meme. It was one of, I think it died quick, but I think in the initial moment, I thought that one was actually hilarious. Not just funny, I thought that shit was hilarious, you know what I'm saying? And I think if it was utilized right, and then it just became, then it just got like, all right, cool, this shit is ass now. Now you can start to see when it's about to come. But I thought that one was actually a really funny one.
depending on how viral it went, you could get recognized on the street for it. If
If
there
you don't know, it was for that meme. I know it was like I think him going like whenever something like would pop up like a serious moment, I'm like do 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 do, and it'll be that song right there. It would be, and then it would pop up that thing. You know what I'm saying? So, what was the meaning behind it? There's no meaning behind it. It's a fucking meme.
meme really went mainstream, that's probably what would happen. But I feel like I would get turned into a clip everywhere I went, depending on how viral the meme went. Like, I could be clipped everywhere. And that's just not something I want to deal with. If I'm in a Walmart, I have an atrocious fit on. I'm in that I don't give a fuck fit. I would just want to get in and out of Walmart. And I
God,
would just be mad awkward if I got
man, I used
recognized
to
for a
have
meme.
shirts like that.
Yo, bro, that's the meme guy right there. That's the blah 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 guy. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's me. What's up, man? Because you don't even know if they're actually a fan of you or if they've just seen you on TikTok or on the internet. Like, at least if you run into somebody that says, like, yo, man, I fuck with your content, at least you know they mess with your videos or whatever it is you're creating. But if people were just shouting and saying, yo, that's the meme, bro, I would feel like I'm at a zoo. Or never mind, scratch that. I would be the zoo. I don't think I'd be able to deal with that much attention where I would dead ass be a zoo exhibit. So if you don't believe me about becoming a meme
Oh
and
my God.
sometimes being awkward in public, of course, there could be some positive interactions. If people are just chill and treat you like a regular person, it could be a positive interaction. I feel like there's a line that shouldn't be crossed when you're in person versus
That is true, but I think that also just depends on what kind of meme you did too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think because there was a lot of moments right where what was it where I think it also depends on how you approach the situation, right? I think there's at least that I can think of right now. There's two examples, right, that I can think of. Not even just people, but just like things that are either gonna kill it or increase it, right? One thing I know that's gonna kill it is you just trying to ignore the fact, right? I think if you were known for one thing, I think you should appreciate the time that you are given with it. You know what I'm saying? So, if people are doing that, you cool, you can joke around about it. You could joke around about it. I think you still need to be able to garner that attention. Is that the right word? Garner? We're gonna do a check on that one? Fuck no. No, we'll do it. We'll do it. Garner definition. Gather or collect. Especially information or approval. Bro, I'm just saying shit and I'm hitting the dime right now. I'm hitting the fucking dime right now. You know what I'm saying? But the what's it says right here if you want to know, gather or collect something, especially information or approval. Okay, your boy's helping you out. I'm just saying shit. I'm just saying shit at this point. But the when it comes to like I said, those things, I think embrace the fact that people are doing this, embrace the fact that you have this attention now, and then slowly work on the back end on whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because people are always they're always gonna hope for the chance that they're in the video of potentially calling you out. You know what I'm saying? Let them record you. Let them record you. You know what I'm saying? Say the phrase with them. Say the phrase with them. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be annoying, but eventually it's going to fade out. It's going to fade out. But obviously, if it's a good, funny thing, then of course it's going to last long. You know what I'm saying? Um, there are quick. There's long lasting memes and there's dying memes. But nonetheless, they don't last very long, right? But I do think it's one of those things where you can gain a lot of attention in their trash. You know what I'm saying? So um, so that's that. And then the other one, wait, did I already mention the two? Except, taking the information and just embracing the fact that you are that one. And I want to say the thing that will ruin it is you getting mad. I guess that would be in case for anything. But I think it really is as simple as you saying, you just going through it and being like, bro, just stop. That's not me no more, bro. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I think to an extent, I think these people are trying to make fun of you, you know what I'm saying? But you're letting something like that to get to you, especially if it's not anything bad, you know what I'm saying? Um, like even somebody I think that like had like a good example where it's like there's no way you'll pull as much success as you ever did because not ever, it's not impossible, but you'll never gain that huge that instant burst that you got last time. You know what I'm saying? So for example, I don't know if a lot of you guys know who Boonk Gang was, right? Boonk Gang. I'm gonna be honest. I used to watch a lot of his fucking videos. And I thought a lot of his videos, I didn't think they were funny. I thought they were entertaining, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean it provided value, right? Um, or it was the most informative thing. No, I just thought what he was doing was crazy, and it hit my dopamine receptors like a fucking bomb. You know what I'm saying? A nuke, in fact, radiation. You know, not destroying my brain, tingle it in the right way, the right way. You know what I'm saying? He used to do like he used to go into a lot of stores and just like I mean, if you want to talk about the original clip farmer, that would be it. Boom, he did not give a fuck. He was literally running to stores, not getting his hair paid. You know what I'm saying? I think people are doing things like that, but compared to I think how a lot of these people used to do things back then, they definitely were of this high degree of like, I just don't give a fuck. And that's what Boom gave us. He just didn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? But he was on a very destructive path, you know what I'm saying? Um, but then he turned his life around. He became God. I think he's dating, you know, oh, I forgot her name. I forgot her name, but it's a girl who gained popularity for, for saying like I am black. I am indeed black when, she only had a mixture of black in her, right? She only had a small percentage of black in her. But, she pretended to be black, a black girl, right? Or she took the mannerisms of a black girl. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I just thought that was interesting. I just thought that was interesting. I just thought like I guess it's one of those ones where it's like I guess what I'm getting at is like it really just depends on how you approach it. But I think the best way to do it is accept the fact that you're getting that attention, right? But learn how to navigate from that attention. Because there are going to be people that don't know who you are still. You know what I'm saying? You got to think you only got 1 million views in one video. That could be 2 million unique views right afterwards just because people are recording you and re-uploading, you know what I'm saying? And say it how you would. Embrace that shit. And then, when people actually come like, oh shit, I didn't know you had a channel. And then you just bring just small bits of attention to yourself. Just small bits of attention, you know what I'm saying? Damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The internet. It's completely different. But Kari 2 on TikTok, I found his video on becoming a meme and what it's
Dude, this is another one. I'm sorry to keep pausing. Bro, this is another one. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this shit was hilarious. Right? It was disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie, it was disrespectful. I shouldn't have been laughing at it. Shouldn't have been laughing at it. But I thought that shit was hilarious. Still I'd probably laugh at it to this day. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, but the what it was is he'll talk about it as soon as he embraced it. As soon as he embraced it, bro, I'm not even joking. Couldn't watch it. Couldn't watch it. It wasn't fun anymore. Why? Because it was no longer making fun of an individual. That's terrible, right? That's fucking terrible. Oh my God. But sometimes that's what you got to do. So especially if it ain't that bad, especially if you're just coming at your physical appearance, it may destroy you deeply, but I think it can also build you up to a level where it's like nothing can break you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Damn near everybody's done said it. Everybody's done said it. But I thought these shits were hilarious. And then I think I remember the section of him saying like, "Stop calling me a Minecraft block. I'm not a Minecraft block. This is a Minecraft block. This is me. We don't look the same." Turn me off quick. Immediately hopped off the video. You were a part of the joke? Yuck. You sick some bitch. It ain't fun. It ain't fun when you're making fun of yourself. It's only fun when we're making fun of you. Oh man, I'm terrible.
but he went viral for him being compared to a Minecraft character. He would scream about it in the car, whatever. But he said in this video, sometimes getting recognized can be a little bit awkward. in his case.
I get a lot of positive interactions when I go out in public. There's also been a lot of weird ones. You know, sometimes it's hard because people want to like meme you in public, right? So like I'll meet a fan and they're like, they want to roast me in public, and like roasting in public is kind of a little different than roasting in the comments, right? Or responding to that. Like imagine you're at the gym playing basketball, right? And then like 5 kids come up to you and just start roasting the shit out of your head.
Yeah, that would suck ass. I can't even
That is
lie.
true because you realize those kids are just straight up disrespecting. Comment, you can look at it. You can look at the comment thing as like, oh yeah, you just a bitch over the internet. Nah, if you saying that shit in real life, you said fuck the internet, bro. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this right now because I know I ain't gonna suffer no consequence, except maybe a little yell at me. You know what I'm saying?
Lie.
Shit
Imagine
hit
people just
different.
start pointing and laughing at you, or just screaming your meme or whatever it is. This is really the biggest downside of going viral, when people don't take you
What
seriously
is this
for it, or
image?
they're just not chill at all. But despite all the negatives, the rest of the video, I mean, he seemed pretty chill about going viral. And he said he's happy to entertain people, even if it is about just screaming about the build of his head on TikTok. Which, you know, that's a really wholesome way to look at it, I can't lie. But some
And
people
he
see that
approached it the best
virality
way.
and they just
Just
start
embrace
dragging
it.
it.
Just
Which, you know what,
embrace
I
it.
can't even blame them, bro.
Start
Like,
sliding
make
away.
a
You know
quick
what I'm
bag
saying?
off that shit. Get all the money you can,
Exactly.
because memes could come with serious baggage. Some people don't want the fame, it just
Ooh,
unintentionally happens. So start that
wait,
podcast,
whoa, whoa,
sell
whoa,
your
whoa, whoa, whoa,
merch.
whoa, whoa,
You
whoa.
want the fame.
That that's him? Wait, was he? I didn't realize he was a meme. I thought that was a famous movie scene.
Just unintentionally happens. So start that
Wow.
podcast, sell your merch, get on Jimmy Fallon or whatever it
Talk
is,
to it
any
before I
interview you
talk to
can,
you.
get some nice cheese off it, and make all the videos you can. If you just want to monetize off it and leave the internet forever, that is your best choice of action. Something happens when you drag a meme, you'll look desperate, people will get annoyed by it, and eventually they'll stop tuning in. But personally, I would want to capitalize as best I can while the iron's hot, just so I don't fall off, and do some new things, new ideas, while I have the audience in front of me. But some people will deadass just milk the meme until there's nothing left. If I see another meme rug pull, I'm done, bro. But you don't have to do a whole ass crypto coin rug pull. That's just fucked up. Like, who genuinely bought Hawk to a coin? Okay, it's 100% understandable to make all the profits you can, but just scamming people is fucked up. Okay, why'd I just say that like it wasn't a grass is green type of take? But there's some examples where a meme can help you, like Quebblecop. He used that opportunity, all that spotlight, to say he is done with AI, and he's coming back. Unk is officially back in the game because of a laugh that isn't even his. And there's no way he doesn't come back for GTA 6. Like, I already see a comeback ensuing from Quebblecop. He already dropped a video on his channel about the laugh. Like, if he's consistent and stops using AI, he could. He dropped a video on his channel about the laugh. Like, if he's consistent and stops using AI, he could definitely make a comeback. But now, something you have to be aware of, if you want to market the meme correctly and play into it the right amount, is the meme life cycle. Don't drag the meme forever, because people will
Of
get
course.
tired of it. Especially if you don't want to be
But that's
known
in
for that
general. That's
content.
in
It's pretty
general.
much how
You know
the
what I'm
meme
saying?
life cycle goes. It will start in a niche community and begin going viral. Like, every viral meme we see now starts niche. Or
I
pretty
don't know
much
what the
every
fuck that was.
viral
I've
meme
never
we
seen
see.
that shit.
Then these group of people will spread it amongst
Hope
each other,
Valley.
and will slowly start gaining traction from there. Sometimes memes will skip stages, but this one usually always happens. After it spreads amongst like the smaller groups of people into more mass audiences, it will start to blow up. And then everyone knows about it to the point where you see it everywhere. Then you'll see variants of the meme, and it will just become overused. Like, for
Yeah!
example, the slogan,
Ah,
"Let me
man, I'm
shut
sorry.
your
I couldn't
bitch
hold
ass
it in.
up" images. As soon as the variants
That shit
hit,
was
both of
hilarious,
those
though. I
memes
thought those
just
were
died.
funny.
Both of these, I feel like they suffered.
I thought because a lot of people reacted to those shut your bitch ass memes. A lot of people reacted to those things. Like that shit genuinely pissed the fuck. Okay. Okay. Damn. Shit looking high over here. That's wild, right? Um, I thought those shit was hilarious though. Once again, just thought that shit was funny, you know. And I think that's one of those ones that can last for a very long time.
The same fate. Everyone just spammed it for 2 weeks, and there were like way too many meme variants, and it just died. Imagine you
Like
comment a
that.
sun variant, and there
Like
were like
this isn't blowing up into the big market. This is. That's blown up. This shit right here, you 13, 16 under laughing at this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing you're doing that's presenting this to me And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can start utilizing this myself in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Shut your bitch ass up one. You know what I'm saying? That one, I can actually see myself using that. This shit right here, you're weird. You know what I'm saying? You one of those kids that repeats a weird thing. It's like you're grown. You're like you're a teenager saying like saying shitty memes. You know what I'm saying? These are not even good memes. These are just shit. These are just shit.
Way too many meme
I guess
variants. But like,
I
bro,
couldn't. I don't know.
imagine you comment a sun variant image in 2027. You would get fried. Everyone just started spamming these images, and it just got too
Nobody
repetitive,
was
so
spamming
everyone
these.
got sick of it. Stuff gets burnt pretty fast, and then
I
people
didn't see
move
it.
on from stuff really fast as well. That's really just how the internet works now. Sometimes people might pester you after that time, depending. But if it gets past this stage, brands and corporations will start using it. If this happens,
That's
you know
when I
what?
should.
Fuck what I said about
That's
dragging
when
the
I should
memes.
have
Just
died.
drag that shit to oblivion. There's not really much you can do after that, except just keep dragging the meme for more money. Most of the globe will know you for that at this point, so there's no going back. Now, I've talked
Hmm.
about this topic a little bit, but why do brands get hate when they use memes? Well, they're always a year late, or they just try to do it in order to get sales and fit in with everybody. Like, why did I go to the grocery store and see 6-7 nuggets in 2026? No, I think it's been dragged out long enough. What do we think? Okay, you know what? If I was in the position where I was known as the 6-7 kid forever, you know what? F it, drop the 6-7 nuggets. Hypothetically, if I was in that position, I was known by most of the globe for this meme, so just get me the nuggets. And yes, I would definitely think it's corny,
Makes
even
sense.
if it was my own meme being sold as chicken nuggets a year later. Imagine seeing this bullshit in the store. I don't know what's up with companies being late to trends. For example, why was Chill Guy in an Orbit gum ad like 2 years late? This had to be
I guess, but that one's a little bit more marketable. That one's a little bit more marketable. I'm gonna be honest with you. That one actually could be a lot more marketable, right? Now, as for why, well, people gotta understand, brands actually have to do things without getting sued. Let you do something like, yo, you literally took my idea and sold it. Motherfuckers will get stroked for billions. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm stroking you for billions. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm peeling skin. I'm peeling skin off. And yeah, that's it. You're getting violated. I'm violating you as a company. I'm violating you as a brand, and you will pay me out. You will give me $6.3 billion in my pocket right now, cash. I will settle for 2.8 trillion. Yes, I'm settling for more than what you need to give me. It's the honest truth. You're gonna respect me. You're gonna respect me. You're not gonna have. You're not gonna be like, you know what? Fine. And you know they might. They might. And these things take time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go making nuggets and selling them shits. People can get poisoned. You can die. You know what I'm saying? It's all about money at the end of the day. You know, it's about time. You know, making sure things get done. A year is probably about right. It's a reason. I think that's a reasonable time to to get something out. But I think that's just like anything, you know what I'm saying? If the meme lasts for more than 2 years, then you got a year to plan for that shit.
rage bait, so it gets shared all over TikTok. I'm not even seeing it that much, but still. Who on the marketing team gave this the green light? Imagine just seeing Chill Guy on TV 2 years later. It would just catch me off guard. Then there's also meme songs. I've seen this happen a lot this year as well. Meme music could really change your life if you play it out correctly. Like, think about it. You could drop a slowed version, a slowed and reverbed version, a sped up version, a TikTok. Okay, let me stop. But this
We got it.
always
We
happens.
understood.
Even if the song isn't really a meme, it just goes viral. And I definitely see the vision with that because it's going to be hard to top.
Not a glass.
If I drop a life-changing
Or
song
Ray-Ban
and it
glass.
goes super viral, I mean, I might, depending if I want to take my career further or not. If I'm like ready to hang it up, then yeah, I would definitely just milk that shit dry. You know, it's fucked up, but man, I gotta keep it a buck. For example, if I drop something that's complete burger music and everybody hates my song, like that World Cup Everybody Jump song, might as well get all the attention I can from it. It, man. Although it's burger music and it sucks, what else am I gonna do from there? It's either that or retirement, or make even more meme music. If I drop a song, put my heart and soul into it, it goes viral for being ass. I mean, what do I do from there? The top comments on this song are, we all love this song, like if I'm wrong, smile if this is bad, World Cup Everybody Jump, with a picture of Superman holding his ears because they're bleeding from how ass this is. Why people hating? This is shit. Even TikTok says to scroll. It still is entertainment if people are laughing at your song. I don't know. But it could be a real hell though if you're trying to be a serious artist and nobody takes you serious because your song is a meme. But it is possible to make a comeback. People will listen to anything, even if it's straight noise pollution. I found the clip of an
It's
artist talk
true.
about what it's like to have a viral song. You may know the song, you might not. Shout out to Blizzy Boy, or the 41-year-old Unk. Last year, the song 41 went viral for him, and this is what it's like after.
Life after having a viral song. I blew up last year on a song called 41. It was a song that's been out for 4 years, but it started catching flame again last year, 2025. I pretty much milked every piece of little fame I could out of it. Still got a whole bunch of people that follow me because of it. But also, I do got a group of hating ass that tell me to quit every single day. Just to make video.
Dude, that's the worst. I bet you that shit's painful. I bet you that shit's painful. Motherfuckers is still lingering on the fact, bro. That's he actually. This is actually a good point that he's breaking up, bro. Ain't that shit a bitch? Ain't that shit a bitch, bro? Think about that. Think seriously. Think about that, right? You you are actually somebody who understands, right? He is clearly self-aware enough, right, to where he's like, I'm gonna milk this motherfucker dry, right? And I'm not gonna let it get to me, right? Maybe he didn't let him get to him. Maybe it's not something that's presentable on camera, but he let it actually, he actually let that shit um like kind of flourish, right? He kind of let that shit flourish, and he's like, it's just done. It's that the fact that people still see you trying, just in general, trying different avenues, and it's not as popular. That shit, I think that might be worse than just being known for the thing because now they just want you to fail. They love seeing you fail. Holy shit, that is terrible. That is terrible. Oh my God, that is a
A million views a video every day. That's why sometimes it's better to blow up gradually over time than having a big moment.
I can't even lie, he's right. Blowing up overnight like that just doesn't sound worth it. And the minute you don't pull
I
as
could
much
agree.
as you used to, people will tell you to get a job. But it's different if your song becomes a meme and you already have an established fan base. Like Gook Ganook, this shit went insanely viral. It is like 50 million streams already. And they already have a really loyal fan base, despite this viral moment. I don't think they've dragged their viral moment at all, to my knowledge. But yeah, dragging your viral moment too won't make people want to return. Unless that's the entire joke of the meme, like Ninja and the low taper. That's a completely different case. But I've also seen people just straight up being hated be the viral meme, which has to be the worst
Yeah.
fate as a meme. I've
What
seen
did
a
I
couple
say?
times on the
Holy
internet where the
shit.
whole trend was just to make fun of you and
Fucking
troll you.
hating on you, bro.
Sometimes people take it too far and they like genuinely hate the person, but for most people, it's all in good fun. Well, sometimes. Last year, I remember everybody memeing on Pat God, then it happened to Kai Cenat, now it's happening to Myth. Yup, Myth from 2018.
Bro, I thought first things first, right? I remember him. But the fact that people are making fun of him, bro, we got it, people. Apparently, so if you got, I think he will explain it. I think he will explain it. Let me see.
I would have sold my soul to play with Myth, Daquan, and Hamlets back then. And I'm not going to act like I
Yeah.
wasn't corny back then. Pretty much his old clips are resurfacing, and everyone's calling him a dork, a geek, corny, the worst
Oh
Fortnite
my
player of all
God.
time, you name it. Which, he did play a little cheap back then. He launch padded during a 1v1. He would shoot down builds. That's some shit I would rage at my friend for doing. Like, I would get clowned on my friends for that. So I would expect the internet to do the same. Imagine the internet brings up moments of your life from 8 years ago and just starts ripping into you.
So he definitely not gonna go into it because it's a lot story. Bro, first, if you guys don't know who Myth is, he's a very popular guy who used to I think he used to be the biggest or one of the biggest. Like, I mean, if I had to say like top five, like biggest streamers of all time when it came to Fortnite, right? Like he was just left to right, myth, 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 myth. You know what I'm saying? Like success seemed it didn't seem like failure was a possibility, right? It didn't seem like failure was a possibility, right? And one day he just kind of like it was during one of the tournaments. He did a tournament. What happened to my camera? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold up, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give daddy a second. Give daddy a second. It's gonna get real bad in here in a moment. It's gonna get real bad. I gotta do some things. I gotta do some shit because what the fuck happened? God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, it's over. Oh my God, it's over. We're done. We're done for. Okay. All right, we're back. All right, yeah, we're back. Man, this shit gotta get fixed. It's getting worse. It's progressively getting worse, man. I don't know what the fuck happening, but it's bad. This is bad. I gotta fix my fucking internet, man. I've been doing things on the back end to fix it. Not much because there's not really much you can do except either swap services or buy something new. But it's something's got to get fixed. Something's got to get fixed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm going to figure that out. It's simple. I have a fairly I think it's just the time to do it and the proper allocation of that time. Yeah. But like I said, long story short, Myth did a big tournament. Everybody was expecting him to win, right? He was the guy to win that tournament. Ends up being like one of the first few people that gets taken out, right? One of the first few people that gets taken out. And his reaction was like, man, I think he actually, if I remember correctly, I think I don't know, I'm trying to remember. I think he did accept I think he did was like, I think he was like, oh man, maybe I just didn't do the best out there, you know what I'm saying? Or I think it was that he blamed it. He blamed it on something and just didn't blame it on the fact that he just lost. He just simply wasn't that good, or he just whatever happened that moment, it was just a bad timing and just a bad situation. Fucking destroyed his career. Fucking destroyed his career. Because now people looked at it, was like, oh, you literally are nothing now, you know what I'm saying? And over time, you know what I'm saying? Over time, it just started to get getting worse, where he started falling off, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember the full exact story. I think he's tried a few things to get different, but ultimately he stuck to Fortnite and, it was moving from there, right? But in the end, that was that. That was Myth, that he literally became a myth. Um, ironically enough. And then what happened now, like the fact that people are bringing it up, you know what I'm saying? His past, bro, that's crazy. Of course. Motherfucker was young as fuck. Of course he's gonna be corny. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? That's crazy. We just be making fun of people, just be making fun of people. But hopefully he's able to capitalize from this. He should be able to, he's been around, he's been in the game for a very long time. Hopefully he's able to capitalize from this and he's actually able to pull and garner some attention from it, you know what I'm saying? And I believe he will. I believe he
Calling
will.
you a dork, corny, a geek, lunch money, the swirly special.
Yeah.
Becoming a meme doesn't really sound that fun.
That's not the worst thing. I think that's people just bullying. I think there's just people bullying, if we're gonna be honest. But that's not the worst. That's not the worst thing. Just having old moments being brought up about how corny you used to be back then. I mean, if anything, that's a blessing. That's a blessing for the internet. You know what I'm saying? They're not bringing up the fact that you are a pedophile, the fact that you used to beat women or something like that, or you used to oh shit, you used to get pegged or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? They're not bringing up some past that you happen to be like, ooh, maybe that wasn't the best thing I did, and now I gotta apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? So
But at least Myth is getting some sort of relevancy out of it. But all you can really
there you
do
go.
if you become a meme is just take it on the chin. Play into the joke a little bit, but don't drag it too much. People are gonna
Absolutely.
get annoyed and say the joke's over. But good on him for playing into it, taking the joke on the chin.
And he's capitalizing.
Would I
He,
ever say Jeej to somebody in a lobby? No. But was I corny and nerdy? Absolutely. So I can't really talk. Now, how do you escape being a viral meme? Low key, you gotta just post through it. It doesn't have to be a drastic
yeah.
change or anything, but just evolve your content over time. It would help if you had an established audience already, but if you don't, just post through it low key. Just make the right moves. Don't drag the meme too hard. If you want to have a long career on the internet, you can't treat the meme like it's the glory days. It's the end all be all. Sure, some people will still call you the blah 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 guy, but eventually you'll get
Yeah.
yourself an audience if that's what you want to do on the internet. If you don't want to be on the internet at all, low key, just fucking milk it dry and just
That's
leave.
truth.
But yeah,
That's the
that's the
truth.
hell of becoming a meme. A lot of PR and decision making is involved. The internet moves really hell on a over. But you know, good on him a little bit. Internet brings for that. So I would expect like Geek Smith is taking on the jokes over. But you know, good on him for playing into it.
I don't get it.
You know, would I ever say
I was thinking. I'm
Jeeves
like,
to
what?
somebody in a lobby? No. But was I
Jeez.
corny and nerdy? Absolutely.
Bro,
Do I care about
we
it?
just
No.
trying to
Now,
make
how
it.
do you escape
We
being a
just trying to make
viral
it.
meme? Low key, you gotta just post through it. It doesn't have to be a drastic change or anything, but just evolve your content over time. It would help if you had a drastic. But the internet at all, low key, just fucking milk it dry and just leave. But yeah, that's the hell of becoming a meme. A lot of PR and decision making is involved. The internet moves really fast, so these decisions have to be really quick. But yeah, watch this video on the end screen. Go watch it now. Run.
Fucking white screen, my boy. Fucking white screen. Yo, crazy thing is, seen this video when it was low. You know what I'm saying? Seen. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, but I was watching this video when it was low, or I seen this video when it was low. So I was like, yeah, man, fuck is you talking about, bro? Fucking boss, motherfucking G unit. Oh, G peacemaker. You feel me? All right. Give me a second. Let me go. Let me go help my dog really quick. Let me go take him to the bathroom and get him something to eat. Shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. If it's any more than that, then I am a fucking retard. I'm working on a screen, but for now, what is this bullshit? The fuck is that? How do you like? Can I don't know if I can. Give me one second. Let me see something really quick. Let me see something. I wanted to. I probably can't. If I'm gonna be honest. Um, Hold up, guys. Um, I'm gonna do this faster. Yeeg. Okay. Okay. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then I wanted to, like I said, for now, I got to look into the, I gotta look into the thing behind it. Well, it might go silent for a second.
One of the most hit or miss things on this planet is
Okay, I'll be right back, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That was that. We are back. Good up. I know what that is. This is a McDonald's. This is a relic from the past, surprisingly. Surprisingly, this shit right here is one of the very few products I have left for my job. I still have the hat. I have a few shirts. Nah, I think I got rid of the shirt. I have the hat. The only job I don't have one is my server one. They never really gave you a specific uniform that had any kind of brand on it, but they did have a name tag, but I wasn't holding on to that shit for a very long time. And I have one for Best Buy as well. I also got the original sweater that they gave me from Best Buy as well. And then, yeah, other than that, that's it, man. And then I also have some memorabilia from this job as well. It's nice to own. It's weird to know when the things that you collected over the years. Chocolate milk, by the way. Chocolate milk. Okay. All right, we're gonna watch this next video right here. Also, give me 1 second. Shout out to this is the oh, that's why I was still. I had two of them literally playing at the same time. Holy shit, I'm an idiot. Fuck me, man. But here's the video I used for the shout out to Lo-Fi Geek. Okay. Close that out. I did have like a song in mind, but I didn't know how to use it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to utilize it. Who the fuck either of those are, bro? Who the fuck either of those people are? Maybe this one, but other than, I mean, the one on the right. This person, I have no fuck idea who that is. Sarah. Okay, let's watch this next video, man. Hope you guys got your snacks and hope you enjoyed. Let's continue.
Powerful villains over the years, but sometimes all it takes is one last-minute miracle for the hero to survive. Here are 8 times DreamWorks villains should have won, starting with Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3.
You may know me as the Beast of Vengeance.
I think actually, damn, 17 seconds and just already started, just gums just started popping out. Let's be real. Let's be real. We all know as we grow up, we sympathize with the villains, right? We're no longer oblivious to this hero saves the day shit. You know what I'm saying? We want failure, we want anger, we want pain, we want destruction, right? Because we're all bitter fucks at the end of the day. Right? And you may be like, oh no, that's not me. That's not no. Silky, that's not me, Silky. Don't Silky, that's not me. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up, all right? Work with me. Work with me. You know, let's not bullshit each other. I know you, you know me. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, bro, that's so good. Um, every single one of these villains should have won. It's not even just based off the fact that, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucker is skilled as fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's all plot armor, plot armor at the end of the day. And it's good that we have DreamWorks villain, right? Because Disney's been fucking up. Disney's been fucking up, you know what I'm saying? But DreamWorks, they're still hitting it on the mark sometimes. They're still hitting it on the mark, you know what I'm saying? They're creating genuinely good villains. Villains that are actually like, okay, he doing some damage, right? He's doing some damage. Um, are there any girl DreamWorks villains? Now I think about it. Nah, I think Disney still got the goats. Disney still got the goats. Ursula, is that her name? Ursula from Disney. I don't fucking know the octopus lady, magnificent. She got a sharp ass jawline. Who else? Those or at least the big ones. I couldn't. If you gave me a ABC, questionnaire, I could pick them out easily. Taking them off the dome, nope, could do it.
Maker of Widows.
But not. I agree. Almost every single DreamWorks villain should have won because they are not just stronger, but they are more skilled. They actually seem like they have a destiny. They actually have like a standard that they have to live up to. They have some anger and they have pain and they actually have some suffering behind their things. So it's kind of like, it's like, you know what? I need to do this. But I understand that, at the end of the day, you got to let these characters win. You know what I'm saying? It's always better to let the good guy win than letting the bad guy win. Bad guy has to be a different medium. And it can be within this, I guess you could say it can be within the same medium, but it has to be told differently. You know what I'm saying? Are you capable of saying villains won in this medium, which is the cartoony, animated kind of style like this? You know what I'm saying? For kids, should you do that? Could you do that? I don't necessarily
The
know.
mortal
It's actually
world
another
is
question for another day.
delicious, but once they finally meet him, they never forget the sheer aura radiating off of him. After being banished to the spirit realm by Oogway, Kai spends 500 years collecting the chi of every kung fu master trapped there just to get his revenge. The guy basically escapes the afterlife by aggressively harvesting chi. And once he gets to the mortal world, his biggest advantage isn't just his strength, but his army of Jade warriors. They act as his eyes, ears, and extra limbs, allowing him to fight through multiple masters without even being in the room. So by the time Po takes him to the spirit realm, Kai has already stolen the chi of Oogway, Shifu, and most of the Furious Five. From a power scaling standpoint, Po should have been cooked, really,
Every single
especially
second.
considering he knows nothing about the laws of the spirit realm, whereas Kai lived there for 500 years.
You brought me back.
Don't blame me. I tried to finish this in the regular realm.
And we'll finish it here.
He, in fact, did not finish it here, but for a few seconds, he absolutely could have. At one point, Kai almost drains Poe's entire chi, and the only thing standing between him and victory is a village of pandas learning how to channel spiritual energy at the perfect moment. Now, to be fair, the panda village saving Poe makes sense, since the film establishes that pandas are naturally connected to chi.
And that's
But from
okay.
Kai's perspective, this is still insane. The guy spent half a millennium stealing chi from legendary masters. Then one panda village unlocks the technique in a few
At the right
minutes
moment.
and derails all his work. All Kai really needed was a few more seconds, much like Pitch Black from Rise of the Guardians.
Such a good villain, by the way.
But fear and darkness. And me.
That right there is Pitch's entire goal.
Like shit, that was good, bro. Y'all tell me y'all didn't like that shit. That shit was awesome, man. Let's play that back one more time. Let's play that one more time, bro. I'm telling you, when a villain hits, like when a villain says some shit like that, bro, that shit just, you're like, damn, that motherfucker about to do some damage.
Guardians.
There will be nothing but fear and darkness. And me.
That right there is
Bro, just talk about throwing your ideas on people and saying this shit's going to happen. It's inevitable. Imagine being like that, bro. That shit is tough, bro. That shit is tough. Don't get me wrong. Villain quotes, hero quotes, they can land right. But when them villains say some shit, bro, them motherfuckers, you really just be like, hey yo, who hurt you? And sometimes it's like, yo, nobody hurt you. You just vindictive. Whoa. Vindictive, having or showing strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. Oh my god, bro. Bro. Go.
Pitch's entire goal in life. After centuries of being forgotten, he wants a world where children stop believing in the Guardians. And the craziest part is that he almost gets it. After using the Dream Sand to create his nightmares, Pitch finally has an army powerful enough to take on the Guardians.
What the
He
fuck is it?
even manages to get rid of Sandman, who's objectively the strongest of the group. After achieving all that, Pitch makes almost every child in the world lose faith in the Guardians, who start to fade fast. At this point, he genuinely could have won, until...
I'm just not afraid of you.
One
That's
child
lame.
stops being afraid, gathers
Fucking lame as
more
shit, bro.
kids, and suddenly all of Pitch Black's hard work comes crumbling down.
It's
I mean,
bullshit, man.
what about the millions of children around the world who still don't believe in the Guardians? Are we saying that a handful of kids can overpower Pitch and his entire army of nightmares?
Yeah,
Apparently,
okay.
yes.
Okay, buddy.
Within minutes,
Okay.
the Guardians turned the tide with the help of a small neighborhood friend group. And soon, Sandman returns, his dreams spread across the world, and belief in the Guardians comes rushing back. It
Damn,
hurts
real,
for some of
real
the
shit. Where you been at, Sandman? Because I ain't have no dreams in a minute. Your boy ain't having been no dreams. Am I terrible? Am I losing faith in myself? Am I achieving that? Am I living my dream right now? Psychologist, help me. Help me. Am I failing? Am I failing as a human being? You know what I'm saying? In these past years, I've experienced more of pitch black, if anything. Literally. Oh my God. Oh my God. Funny story. One thing I want to bring up, bro. I remember seeing this thing on TikTok, right? Sometimes you gotta be careful. Sometimes things just hit you right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think it was I think it was just something that was like, yeah, this is recently too. This is recent, maybe like a few months ago, right? He just hit me right for some reason. I don't know. Something about it was just hitting. You know, I was like, man, why ain't I having no dreams, man? Why am I have well, I haven't had a dream in a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And I remember searching it up one day, like, like, what does it mean if you didn't have no dreams? Don't do that. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Uh, the whole theory behind it is when it comes to you dreaming, not dreaming, that means every alternative version of you in every conceivable universe has died. I believe that shit. Bro, I believe that. Dude. Yo, I can't believe it, right? For some reason they said that and that shit was hitting right, bro. It just hit right. It's like, wow, that got some validity to it. That got something to it, right? There's something there to that. There's something there to that. What bro, what proof? What proof? This is all theoretical, mind you. I'm telling you, I've always believed this shit. I always believed this shit for a solid 10, 20 minutes. I'm telling you, bro, for a solid 10, 20 minutes, I'm like, bro, I'm literally, I'm him. I'm the version that lasted. The one, the true unit, the only one that deserved to be around. Motherfucking fly, man. Another one found its way in my fucking room. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got food in here. I ain't got food in here. One cup, my normal teacup that I use that I just got. I got a new teacup. That one's empty, nothing in it. Closed. Like I said, this one bottle. This is it. This is it right here, and then my tea thing right here. There is fundamentally nothing else in this room. In fact, like I said, this is the cleanest I've ever had my room in centuries. Like, the shit's actually been like pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know. But like I said, with the whole thing, and I'm like, damn, man, you just sometimes you just see things and you're just like, man, why? Why did I believe that? Why would I believe that? A moment of human. I think I became human for a second. I became human for a second. Really felt something deep within that. It was like, yeah, I am unique. I am a unique individual.
His
But
lifelong goal gets snatched away at the finish line, which is something Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda can definitely.
one thing we're not going to do, we're not going to repeat villains, right? Within the same universe. Let's not do that. You're either going to do Tai Lung or you're going to do the boar. Um, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, my boy. Let's not do that. I think they're both great villains. That's the problem. You got to pick. You have to pick. You can't do all the same villains. Hell, you even got the ostrich, the no the swan, the swan. Hell, even the chameleon. That shit was tough. I didn't get to see the movie, but I seen her like transformations. Shit was fucking fire. Shit was fire. Just Bravo DreamWorks. I think you're fucking up with the whole minions thing, but hey, I think that everybody has their slop. Everybody has their slop. But for the most part, I think you guys are still busting out some bangers.
Definitely relate to.
But Uguay
This should have been ultimate defeat. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This nigga should have defeated anything.
to the valley.
Hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
Whoa! Hold up. This shit just threw me off. Hold up. Are you black? Glass, first and first, tough name, by the way. Fucking sick picture art, too. He got to be black. Or it ain't nothing wrong with him doing it. He just threw me off. It just threw me off. That's why I'm dabbling nigga in there a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people to be like, what the fuck? That's random. Why did he just say that? He never said that before. That threw me off.
I mean, the guy didn't exactly disprove Uguay's concerns, now did he? Still,
Oh, no, he black.
if Tai Lung's reaction
He a brother.
was
He a
unexpected,
brother.
I get why the rejection broke him. He
Yeah.
trained his entire life to become the Dragon Warrior because Shifu raised him to believe he was destined for greatness. So when Uguay refused him, Tai Lung lost
Yeah.
the only identity he had ever built for himself and crashed out. If only Shifu had been more openly proud of Tai Lung and raised him differently, it could have saved Tai Lung
Oh,
20
shit.
years in prison.
Oh, 20
Oh, shit.
years? Jeez.
But for what it's worth, I can see why Tai Lung thought he was qualified for the role. This guy escaped the most secure prison in China with a feather. And after getting out,
Which
he
is sick.
defeats the Furious Five with ease before defeating Shifu, the same master who raised him. Skill, therefore, was never Tai Lung's problem.
Yeah.
His real weakness was always his obsession with the Dragon Scroll.
The power of the Dragon Scroll is mine.
Tai Lung spent his whole life chasing external validation,
Actually,
of
so
course he doesn't
even as a kid, I do remember, and maybe this is the same thing for you guys, but I do remember as a kid, there's times where you maybe don't relate with the villain until you actually get older. But I do actually remember relating with Tai Long and actually do feeling bad for him. In fact, I think I actually wanted him to succeed in winning. So the storytelling that they did was good because they showed him being this innocent kid that did everything he needed to do. Like, he never necessarily first, I want to let you guys know I'm doing this thing right here. That's why I'm so like scatterbrained right now because I'm doing this and I can't move that middle finger. As soon as I let go, look, it's there we go. Actually, ah, I can do it. Look, but let me stop doing it. Let me stop doing that. But I do remember, and maybe this is just like I said, this it got to be the case for a lot of you guys too, where this is. I think we all actually felt bad for Tai Lung. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't necessarily seem like literally a bad guy. In fact, it's their fault for creating that. You know what I'm saying? Why did y'all do that to the kid? You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. He had every right to crash out. You know what I'm saying?
understand the scroll's message of true strength coming from within. By this point, he's exhausted, angry, and so focused on the scroll that he never really sees Po coming. In fact, he might have had a chance against the panda if he hadn't been focused on the Dragon Scroll throughout the whole fight. If he had actually fought Po properly, he might have noticed his nerve attacks didn't work on him and looked for a different way to beat the panda. To be fair, Po is meant to have natural talent in Kung Fu and only needed the right training method. But from Tai Lung's perspective, the guy spends his whole life training until his bones crack, only to get folded by a panda who barely started learning
Yeah,
Kung Fu. So, yeah, I feel like Tai Lung was done dirty. We
100%.
can't, however, say the same thing for Jack Horner from Puss in
Once again,
Boots.
just fucking solid villain. Actually, I think he's actually my favorite villain. Maybe him and Death. If I want to be honest, Death is bound to be in this. So I think they might just start picking two from each universe if they have to. But oh my God, bro, just solid lineup so far. Just fucking magnificent lineup. Um, what was I about to say? I think also the problem that I also had, the reason I stopped watching the Kung Fu Panda movies is because if I'm gonna be honest, I got tired of the whole like Poe always had those moments, and I think this is in general, but I think we notice these things, but sometimes those things come off as like, all right, I think you show a lot, and then when you don't show it, it's annoying, right? What do I mean by that? So when Poe fights, right, they say he always had this natural talent, he's a good fighter, but then he just immediately regresses back to that simpleton moronic state, right? And it's like that he just keeps getting his ass beat, and then he gets to that magical state again where he fights the character, and then boom, right? That thing happens all the time, right? It happens all the time. In fact, I think Dragon Ball is like that. You know what I'm saying? You win, you get stronger after you lose, yada yada yada. But I can surprisingly accept that more than what Poe does. You know what I'm saying? It's like they play him off as a simpleton, and it's like when the moment is needed, then it's time for me to lock in. You know what I'm saying? And I think they had a lot of good moments, you know what I'm saying? I know one of my favorite scenes from any of the Kung Fu Panda movies was I think it was in fact in the second movie was when or was it the third one? I think it was the third one, right? When the Swan won, right? When he actually won the first stage, or you can even say the second stage of his actual of his plan, right? And when Poe ultimately got knocked out, he got blown up, and then he landed in the river, right? And he was swimming. And I remember liking that scene. I don't know, that scene just resonated a lot with me. And I thought it was just like a very nice, peaceful moment of seeing, the character that we've had a long way kind of like really get that moment where like, man, I don't know what to do, right? And I think when I seen that, like that ultimately to me was the moment where it's like, all right, there shouldn't really be any more of that cornball. Like it's great to still have that, but to constantly again just keep losing, be sloppy. Oh, whoop, whoop, ding, 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 ding. Same thing. Even when we seen it, he unlocked this dragon spear form. I might be getting the movies mixed around, might be getting mixed movie around, but nonetheless, the point still stands, right? Um, and when they did the whole scene where he like where the person told him like like learn inner peace, you know what I'm saying? And he ultimately was doing this and everything started slowing down and he hit the thing with the water and then ultimately like let it drip onto the leaf, you know what I'm saying? Thought that shit was fire, bro. That shit was fucking fire, dude. Just peak level shit, you know what I'm saying? And he pops off. He pops off, you know what I'm saying? That to me was a good point because that movie had a lot more serious tone to it, you know, compared to a lot of the other ones, right? And then, like I said, when you have those moments where now it's like Poe just joking, you know what I'm saying? He's joking, he's just now he's back to this big goofy slob, that's still, jokingly fighting, because still technically, like when you look at it, Tigress, she, in fact, just give it to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think Poe was even a good, like, I think it's cool, but I'm gonna be honest, Tigress would have probably been a better example of that. And over time, she maybe loosened those barriers over time, right? She wasn't so aggressive. And eventually she did, as a character, she became more loose, you know what I'm saying? But she felt more of the right character, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who loses when and then she works through that, you know what I'm saying, she gets better. I necessarily see that because she kept her strength over time. She just kept fighting progressively stronger people compared to Poe, who was always extremely strong but just kept progressively getting worse and then became stronger again after. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I never really. That's why I like really stopped watching Kung Fu Panda movie because maybe I might be wrong in that, but I would assume you guys also have the same feel. But like I said, back into this because it's about the villains. Once again, Jack Horner, just fucking solid villain. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get you, my kitties, and your little dog too.
Just no care. He just didn't
Unlike
give a
Tai
fuck.
Lung, Jack has absolutely no tragic excuse for his horrid
I mean,
behavior. According
that
to
still makes him
Wikipedia,
awesome.
Loving parents, and stability in a mansion, and a thriving baked goods enterprise for me to inherit.
Can you give me some money, please? Stop fucking around, bruh.
yet for some reason he grew up to be cruel and proud of it. The only thing Jack doesn't have is magic of his own, but he makes up for that by hoarding magical items from across the fairy tale
Fucking
world.
awesome
But
villain,
this
man.
guy,
Good
this
idea.
guy takes being a spoiled brat to a whole new level somehow, because even that isn't enough. Jack wants all the magic in the world just for himself. And it's during this journey that he meets the ethical bug.
You're an irredeemable monster! Oh, what took you so long, idiot?
Let Jack know that one flick would cost him everything later. Because once he finally gets close to the wishing star, the ethical bug returns at the worst possible moment, burning the last piece of the map. So, yes, lesson learned. Be nice to others, Jack. Who am I kidding, though? This guy was always too selfish to look beyond
Yeah.
anything but himself. Much like Prince
But it got him far. It got him far, though.
Promise you this, mother.
And you can, and the people gotta understand, Jack actually was actually putting in some work. You know what I'm saying? He was actually fucking people up. Like he was actually like genuinely like that boy was doing something. Him being selfish made him the guy he was. You know what I'm saying?
Restore dignity to my throne.
You sure?
Another again, Prince Charming, good villain. You know, just
It's
like
no
just
secret that Charming isn't the smartest or scariest
new Shrek
villain
movies
in the
ass, bro.
universe. In Shrek
Fire
2,
every single one of those
Wooly is
people,
so
bro. That shit, it looks
overused he's
ass,
hiding
bro.
behind his mother's villain plan.
Just this
But in
AI
Shrek
slop
3,
garbage, bro.
he finally has a real motive. He wants revenge for fairy godmother's death, and he actually does a decent job at first. Charming gathers every rejected fairy tale villain and successfully takes over Far, Far Away. The man even captures Shrek after spending so long just talking about revenge.
You better bring
Jack
death into
seems to
this.
fumble the moment harder than
I guess he's more of an
ever thought
anti-villain
possible.
or anti-hero. He's not necessarily bad, but he's not good.
Oh boy, indeed.
Bad, but it's
Yeah,
iconic.
Charming wants his knight in shining armor moment and all the applause, but that ego is exactly why he loses. All Charming had to do was finish Shrek quickly and secure the kingdom. Instead, he puts on one of the worst performances I've ever seen and completely embarrasses himself.
You had one job.
And even then, he still gets another chance during the play when he stabs Shrek, only to miss the mark entirely. Yeah, at this point,
Solid.
the power falling onto him was well warranted. Prince Charming, therefore,
Come on, let's start bringing deaths like that back,
was
man.
always too obsessed with looking victorious than actually achieving anything. Chantal Dubois,
Weak, but I think you could definitely say weak in the sense that I think his man I keep forgetting how dream like what is it? Yeah, DreamWorks, bro. Oh wait, no, I'm tripping. This is Disney. What the fuck am I talking about, bro? My bad. I'm sorry, everybody. I keep forgetting like they're completely different companies. Pixar. No. What the fuck am I talking about, bro? Illumination. There you go. I'm thinking of Illumination. All right, there we go. Dude, I'm doing damage. I'm doing damage, bro. I've been saying this whole time, bro. This is why you need viewers correct you. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. Oh my god.
and was a force to be reckoned with in Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
Poor animals. You should never have left the forest. Now you deal with me.
If there's one thing Dubois has,
Good.
it's
Just good villain.
dedication. From the moment she hears about Alex, her only mission is to put that lion's head on her wall. And she's not even all bark, no bite. No, she actually almost succeeds. Dubois survives everything the animals throw at her and somehow tracks them with her superhuman smell at every turn. I mean, how does one woman have a bloodhound nose and the ability to revive her injured officers with just her singing? At this point, she isn't even human anymore. So, naturally, when the final chase
Got a good
begins,
leader.
Dubois is still terrifyingly close to winning.
If I am going down, your head is coming with me.
I don't think so.
Even in mid-air, this woman is somehow prepared to get rid of the lion. It's crazy how for most of the movie, Dubois is basically invincible. But at the finish line, a bunch of circus animals somehow rain on her parade and stop her from taking out Alex with her poison dart. Even so, the fact that it took this many animals
Hold on,
to
what's
stop her says a
so the quality in the video?
lot. In the end, Dubois didn't lose because she was weak, but rather because of extremely convenient last-minute timing. But while Dubois' bloodlust is
He
hella
thick, he thick.
questionable, Ken's hatred for bees in Bee Movie is much easier to understand.
You know I'm allergic to them. This thing could kill me.
Well, why does his life have any less value than yours?
Now, I know
The
Ken
fucking
isn't the
bee.
nicest guy out there. In fact, he's a bit of a douchebag. But
Yeah,
in this case, though, he's actually in the right. The
100%.
man is allergic to bees, and his girlfriend is defending the very creature that could seriously hurt him. And to make things worse, Vanessa starts spending more time with Barry, helping him sue the human race, as if that's a very normal thing to do. Plus, this woman keeps canceling yogurt night for a bee she
Mm-hmm.
just met. At this point, Ken must think he's crazy for even thinking something's going on between the two of them. No wonder he completely loses it.
That's true.
Stinks in here.
I love the smell of flowers.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like Ken at the time. I ain't like him.
Flames.
Barry was just he was a very alluring guy. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, bro! Look at the attention to detail. I didn't notice that until I looked over and I seen his fucking bro. Just the attention to detail, immaculate, immaculate. W animators, W animators.
Not as much.
Okay, Ken may have gone a bit overboard here, but honestly, I'd go a bit crazy too if I came home and found a bee sitting in my chair, laughing with my girlfriend and smirking at me. The craziest part
Barry
is
was
that
an ass. He was an
Vanessa
asshole.
barges in at the last second, saves Barry, and immediately breaks up with Ken. Now, could Ken have handled this better? Obviously, yes. I mean, maybe don't bring a flamethrower into your relationship problems, buddy. But honestly, Ken definitely could have won if he had a sane girlfriend who hadn't chosen a bee over her actual boyfriend. But then again, maybe getting out of that relationship before it drove him even crazier was a win in itself. Like Ken, many villains on this list almost won, but there's only one who always wins.
Oh, they do. The goat. The motherfucking goat.
Death from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the ultimate force of nature. At first, he seems like just another bounty hunter, but one fight with him sends Puss running for his life. The
Mm-hmm.
same cat who laughed in the face of danger for years feels real fear for the first time. Now, technically, death is supposed to be neutral, but in this
Correct.
case, it's personal. He's offended that Puss wasted 8 of his 9 lives like they had zero value. So instead of waiting for the last one to end naturally, death
He's just gonna
comes
take
to
that
collect
shit.
early. In fact, he could have easily killed him during their first encounter when Puss was terrified and completely outmatched. But
But he wanted to
instead,
toy with him.
he let Puss
I don't even
run
think toying with
because he enjoys the chase. Later, though, he definitely regrets that decision. For anyone
Are
wondering,
we really using what
that basically translates to, why the hell did I play with my food? And honestly, fair question. The only reason he didn't get his prey in the end is that he gave Puss too much time to change. When death first comes for him, Puss is arrogant and still treating life like it's a joke. But by the final fight, Puss values his last life and is finally willing to protect it and everyone he cares for. So, although death could still kill him, he doesn't, since Puss is no longer the reckless legend he was a few scenes ago. But even when death walks away, it feels more like a warning than anything. Although
That's why I still say he still was neutral throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's maybe this one moment of him. It's like somebody who's like I said, it's like somebody who saves people not because he has to save them, but because either they ultimately will equal out to something good, I guess, like in terms of helping them achieve their goal. I mean, the guy's death, you know what I'm saying? He's like, now, I guess you can, I think this is when you start reading too deep into it, but if you do want to look at it, like, if you are death in this case, right? And you realize, like, bro, you got 9 lives, you wasted 8 of them shits. Most people only have one. Everybody has one, but you have 9 and you wasted every fucking one. You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve to live. You don't deserve to have this final one because you're just gonna waste it. You're just gonna waste it. In fact, look where he found him at. He found Puss at a bar. I mean, he found him at a bar. Once again, just groveling and wasting his life. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna take him. Um, I think Depp is like one of those people who are like is like I think if you want to look at it, like he's like that ultimate law of nature, right? Where you can take action where action is needed, but when that action has been corrected, you accept it. Because like I said, a warning. I think like you said, he liked the chase. He liked fighting. He liked fighting. Like I said, act like he didn't. He 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 ultimately, like I said, he just said, I think he was. I'm trying to, I'm kind of, because I'm trying to justify why. And I'm trying to justify why he might have been mad at the end compared to, you know. Also, let me turn this up. I think it might be a little low. Why he might ultimately be mad at the end compared throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's one of those things like, all right, fuck, you got it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he just warned him. He warned him, like, hey, listen, last one. I'm coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe at that point, maybe it's just a warrior's pride, right? It's just a warrior's pride that he lost a fight. A fight that he decided that I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to control the situation. And he lost that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what it is. You know what I'm saying? So even then, I don't think Puss ultimately knock anything out of his hand or anything like that, or did he break his swords? I don't remember.
While
But
Puss survived this time, Death makes it very clear he will see him again. And unlike every other villain on this list, he always gets the last word.
okay, interesting, interesting, good video, man. Thank you, Glass. Yeah, I'd still say him in Death. I still say him and they ain't reason. Nah, you know what? They ain't reasonable. Just early. Just take his body life early. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's a teachable moment. Is there something new about that coming out? I am going to watch this on my.
Cowcast with
I'm going to actually watch this when I'm done streaming. Uh, I'm curious if is there a dark side version in that game? Fucking goated villain, man. Fucking goated villain. Okay. This is just a video that I just thought was interesting. Um, I just wanted to see it. I thought this was like an interesting video. When I seen it, because I was like, let me see. Let me see what makes this. You know.
This is City of God, probably the most realistic crime film ever made.
Actually, there's two reasons why I wanted to watch this. One, because I thought it was interesting, and two, I thought it was like another movie that sounds similar to this one. I forgot what it was, but it was another movie with like child soldiers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it was like the same premise. There was like the very same premise. You know what I'm saying? Like them growing up, but the movie was pretty. The movie was pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? The movie was rough. There was some rape scenes. There was of men. I mean, not of men, of women and children. They weren't shown. The ones with the children weren't shown, but the one of the woman was shown. And like they ended up shooting her afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Just horrific shit, bro. And you see this kid who's just broke, who just gets broken throughout the whole fucking movie, man. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know. Because I forgot. But oh my God, great movie, but not like not the worst like most aggressive movie, but it is like when you think about it and you look back at it, it's like, man, that's rough.
By
That's rough.
many, considered one of the greatest crime films of all time. While it's often called the Brazilian Goodfellas, City of God is nothing like your traditional gangster film. It has no famous actors, no gangsters in suits like The Godfather, and it's no rags to riches story like Scarface.
Your son made it, Mama. It's a success.
City of God does not romanticize crime in any shape or form. Instead, it shows the bleak lives of kids growing up in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, struggling to survive another day. But director Fernando Meirelles didn't want professional actors to perform this story. He wanted people who had actually seen it, felt it, and lived it. Therefore, the people you see on screen aren't actors. They are actual residents of the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, standing in front of the camera for the very first time. While journalists had been writing about how dangerous these neighborhoods were for decades, and even documentaries had been made about it, nobody outside of Brazil was paying any attention to them.
Nobody wanted to put any money on the film because everybody was saying that this would be a flop because unknown actors, very violent story, inside favelas, nobody is interested in seeing favela, that's what they tell me.
If anything, it could be one of those movies where it's like, I think, because I think when it comes to a lot of these movies, right, you have one of two ways. They overdo it, right? And it's not overdoing it to the point where it's like, okay, is this shot? Is like, I understand that this is a teaching moment, but it's also one of the things is like, bro, what? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Um, a lot of you know about the movie, a Arabian film. I obviously that's now you can consider that surface level, right? You consider that surface level. I've never actually seen a movie, but I've seen a lot of people talk about the movie. Probably watched enough to know about exactly what happens in the movie at this point, right? Um, but I never had the courage to go watch the movie, right? Because I've realized I can't watch dark films like those. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, it for some reason it hits a little too close for home. There's no need for it to, but for some reason there's something about it where I'm just like I'm watching like, bro, nah, bro, I can't. This shit is different. This shit is different. Um, like I tried watching Martyr, right? Martyr. Is that what it is? Martyr, right? It was a video, it was like a movie. I remember watching this, right? I tried to watch this one by myself. I ultimately did, but I just didn't feel like I gained any kind of like real satisfaction from watching the movie, right? So, this is a spoiler. This is a spoiler, right? But Martyr is a movie of like, if this is the right name, but it's a movie of two girls. It starts off crazy, like these people end up coming to this house. Girls end up coming to this house, and these people just fucking they're about to get ready to torture this girl, right? She's already escaped some other place. She gets to this one and she gets to this house and they start taking care of it. They like manipulate her, take care of her and stuff like that. It's already just like fuck, man. It's like, is anybody in the vicinity helpful? So her friend ultimately comes to help her. Friends up finding her, realize she killed everybody in the house, the mom, the dad, and the two kids, the son and the daughter, right? And then after that, because the girl she's been through so much, not only outside but with inside, it just all got to her, and she just cut her own throat. Right, friend came back, realized she cut her own throat. Right, so then I don't know, I forgot what happened, but I don't know if she went back. I don't know if this person went back to the house or what happened and how she ended up getting caught. But she ultimately ends up getting captured. Right, and dude, this is just when it goes downhill, man. Oh my God. So this lady is tortured for, I don't know if they said it, but for God knows how long. Every day, just beating this girl, torturing her. You know what I'm saying? And just like, bro, where's the hope? Where's the hope? Just kill her. Like that's the only hope. You wish for her to die. How do you wish for your protagonist, right, to die? You know what I'm saying? You want them to stop. You feel that the best thing for them not to do is like, even if she did escape, look what's happening. This exists. This thing exists within society, right? And it's just like you're just praying for her to die, right? It just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It just gets worse and worse, and then you just see her just, oh my God, bro, just losing all her humanity, right? And then ultimately they see it. She finally hits that state of euphoria, right? It's probably not the right word, but what I mean by this, so let me continue saying it, then I'll actually say it, right. So she ultimately has this look in her eyes, right, where she's ascended, where she is living a living dead person, right? She is in the middle state of life and death. You know what I'm saying? And they finally end up coming to her, right? And they grab the girl, they put her in there, rip all her skin off. Bro, what the fuck? Mind you, I watched this by myself, right? Didn't watch this with nobody. Just ripped it off. Right? I'm like, fuck, bro. The fact that I made it this far, it's incredible. It's incredible. I think I just wanted some light at the end of the tunnel. I wanted some light, right? And she is now presented. in this emaciated form, right, of just peeled skin, just probably in just pain, just unlimited pain, bro. And these elites are there admiring her, right? And they ultimately have a older lady who ultimately talks to her, right? She talks to the girl. The girl whispers in her ear. They finally realize she's ascended to that state, right? She's ascended to that state of living death. Um, she whispers in her ears. So the girl, she ends up whispering in her ears, and then the lady ultimately asks, I don't know if it was like, what was the meaning of life, or I forgot what was said, right? But it was either like, what's the meaning of life? Is there is there a God? Is there life after death? You know what I'm saying? And the girl tells her, right? But we as the viewers, we don't know. Nobody knows except this lady, right? So what she does is she, cleans herself up, checks herself up, right? Everybody's like, "Oh my God, what'd she say? Like, what was said? What was done? What was done?" Goes in the bathroom, bang, blows her brains out, right? Okay, all right, great, great, right? She ultimately was given mercy, right? In a sense. So what's the point of it, right? What's the point of it, right? What I've interpreted and from what I read, right, is that martyrs is one of those things where it's like people trying to figure out the meaning of life and the state of living, or the state of, what's the meaning of life? Why do we die? Why do we exist? Is there any meaning to any of it? You know what I'm saying? And is there a reason for like when you suffer through this, right? You know what I'm saying? Is there a reason for this? Does God exist, right? The big question, right? The big question. And ultimately, like I said, the one lady, she is given that answer, right? So at that point, like I said, it's up to the viewers, right? And this lady, right? This lady has been tortured and beaten down, right? And I'll get into that really quick. Right. You see, like, she ultimately gives that answer, whether it's yes, they do exist, or they say, or she says something along the lines like, you will suffer for your transactions. You know what I'm saying? And it may have been something higher power speaking directly through her talking to this girl, and that's why it had more. This is at least my interpretation. Maybe a higher power was talking to this girl, and then that higher power had, just like I said, instead of hearing that one person that says it, that was something that no matter what the case is, if anybody heard it, they would do exactly the same thing, especially if it was the same thing. There wasn't like hearing the perfect right time. It was literally the exact wording that needed to be given, right? But most people interpretation is that, they told her, that well, there was never like what was said, but like I said, is that ultimately something was said that made her was like, wow, there's no point of existence right now, or I've done so much, I might as well fucking kill myself now and get it over with. You know what I'm saying? Just meet my ultimate end, because what's here now is going to be way better. I mean, it's no point of even trying to enjoy this now, right? So that's the whole thing, right? And a lot of people's thing is, well, this girl, she had to suffer through so much for what? Was there a reason? Was there a good reason for her suffering? Was there even a need for her to suffer? Is her suffering justifiable in the end? Because in the end, she will reach ultimate enlightenment, and doesn't matter. She just suffered such a poor life now, but when she dies, it's ultimately going to be better in the end, right? There's a lot of different interpretations, right? It's one of those movies where a lot more questions are asked rather than answers are given, and you kind of just leave it up to your mind. Those are really good movies. Those tend to be really good movies, right? But that's basically like the general premise, right? Bro, like I said, good movie, but my God, bro, it's one of those ones where it's like it hits that right line of like, this shit sucks ass and this shit is good. That's why I stayed. But I'm like, bro, I'm like, how often can you say you really wished for a person to just die? Somebody that's not even a bad person, just suffering. And it's like, what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, you might be like, oh man, that sucks. But you want this person to die because you're like, bro, there is no shot there is no chance of freedom.
But when
This
City of God
this is just it for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Whew. A lot to unpack there. Got a little depressing. Got a little depressing. Great movie. That was one of those ones where I'm like, this is my line. I can't go any further than that, right? It's just and I tried to, see certain movies and like, yeah, maybe I'll try it out. I can't make it even like maybe like a third or a fifth into the movie. You know what I'm saying? I just I can't do anything. I can only go maybe like 10, 15 minutes max. And I'm just like, bro, I just can't do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, like it's one of those movies where, like I said, it had that nice line. So it's not like, you're not going to go there and see some aggressive scene. I'm like, wow, that's okay. Okay. No, that's not going to happen. It's genuinely a good movie.
came out in 2002, it did something no article or documentary ever managed to do. It put you inside that world so convincingly that it went on to be screened in over 100 countries and earned 4 Academy Award nominations.
Beautiful.
So today I want to dive into the story of City of God and show you how it became one of the most realistic crime films ever made.
Okay. That's okay. 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 Think we all watch Mythbusters? Mythbusters. Mythbusters. Um, maybe. Maybe with the revolver that I'm certain after it hit the first one, that trajectory is done. I'm pretty sure that bullet's that shit's lost half of its power. You know what I'm saying? Then let it hit another one and then bounce and it hits mine directly. Maybe, maybe. But saying realistic and then you seen that motherfucker just fly past, saying realistic and then doing that, hey, I guess
But
we're
in
all
order to
self-aware.
understand how, we first need to get a better understanding of
Appreciate
where
you
the
guys for
story
watching
started.
too.
City of
Hope
God
you
is
guys are
based
having a
on a
good,
true
man. Hope you
story
enjoying
and is
this.
narrated by a young boy named Rocket, who
Hope you're
grows up
enjoying
in
this
the
different
slums of
variety,
Rio de
just
Janeiro.
taste.
In the
You know what I'm saying?
1960s, the Brazilian government relocated poor locals from central Rio to the suburbs, clearing out valuable land under the promise of giving them better lives. They moved them to housing projects on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro, one of which was Cidade de Deus. The name was a bold promise, but in reality it was nothing like it. City of God was a wasteland with no jobs
Like
and
me.
no infrastructure, and in just a decade, City of God became one of the most violent places in Brazil.
Mas na cidade de Deus, se correr o bicho pega, e se ficar o bicho come.
The story revolves around the lives of 3 friends, referred to as the Tender Trio, who grow up in a city where poverty and crime have become the way of life. Alongside them, there is a kid named Lil Dice, who enjoys killing people just for the fun of it, which already tells you
Woo!
enough about how crazy things are about to
Holy
get.
shit.
The movie shows
One
the rise of these
one thing, right? One thing I do want to ask a question on, right, is um I could be wrong in this, but from what I can tell, right? See a motherfucker again. Um, when it comes to, just building developments like that, that doesn't solve anything, correct? I think doesn't just provide people with things over their head, but does that add more damage than it does actual good? You know what I'm saying? I think yes, but I think it only exacerbates the problem even more, right? Because now that people have I guess you could call it a sanctuary, right? And that could be that's probably the wrong word because sanctuary, I guess you can say, is usually associated with a place of safety. Um, I know that's not the definition, but I guess when you say I've hit the sanctuary, right? I've landed at the sanctuary. It's a place of of safety, a stoppage from the outside world. Once you're within this, there's nothing on the outside that could affect you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think when I've realized like you can easily build developments everywhere, right? But I don't think that ultimately solves the problem. And I think this is one of those things where like the question is easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I wonder like if anything that created more problems than it did actually then it would have just been just letting people be the way they are. You know what I'm saying? So you give people more resources, and they now utilize those resources because they're just in a different. They just have more access, or they're able to do more things with it rather than doing good with it. It just continues to. it continues the cycle again that they were already in, or they just relapse in the same situation that they've always been. You know what I'm saying?
Innocent kids into ruthless gangsters. But our narrator Rocket is not like the other characters in the film. He is not interested in becoming a gangster or a drug dealer. Instead, he's passionate about photography and wants to capture the true essence of life in the city through his camera. And so he set off on a journey through the lens of his camera. But to truly understand Rocket, let's spin back to the real person his character is based on. A man who grew up in the real Cidade de Deus. His name is Paulo Lins. Paulo Lins wrote the book Cidade de Deus, that the movie is based on, and spent 8 years of his life documenting all the violence around him.
Morrer inocente morre há muitos anos. Eu vi muitos amigos meus morrerem. Meu pai, minhas tias, sobrinho que morreu novo. Isso são as coisas mais fortes da minha vida, né? Mas isso é muito pessoal, isso acontece na vida de todo mundo. Isso foi uma coisa que tanto é que eu escrevi sobre isso, né?
A few years after the book was published, director Fernando Meirelles read it and wanted to share the story with the rest of the world by adapting it into a film. But there was one problem. He couldn't get any funding for the movie, because studios didn't think there would be any demand for a story quite like this. And so he decided to take the risk and invest his own money for the sake of the story.
I decided to finance the film myself. For the last 10 years I had got some money. I got money doing commercials, so I had some. And I decided to invest in my own film just because I couldn't stop. I was so involved.
The most important thing for director Fernando Meirelles and co-director Katja Lund when creating City of God was authenticity. And so in order to find the right people to tell the story, they had to go back to its origins.
I knew my biggest challenge would be cast. Because in Brazil, even if I wanted, there wasn't this amount of young black actors at all. I mean, you could count like 2, 3, and maybe not the best ones. So I knew from the beginning that to shoot this film I would have to create actors, you know.
During pre-production, they went to the favelas and housing projects of Rio de Janeiro. And
Man, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. You know, that is definitely a lot to probably deal with. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think sometimes being that kind of camera crew does create like a safety net. But I think there's also you also have to still kind of guide. You still think you still have to, it's not even a thing. You have to still abide by the things that are happening in society around you, right? Because there's always going to be that one unhinged motherfucker that tests the waters, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, even as the director, right, you might be like, bro, you're not being the main character. You're just not, you're ass. You're just shit. You're ass. You can't do that, you know what I'm saying? But you can't say that. You can't say that. You got a crew to protect, and you got also people within the crew, like, you know, the actors would be the people that didn't know how to act in this case, to also protect, you know what I'm saying? I think and then, you know, maybe that one unhinged person, like, you're not gonna play this place as a bad light, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta really teeter on that line, and it's a little it's iffy, you know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to these type of projects, you gotta really be willing to commit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really be willing to commit to the role. You gotta really put yourself in that situation. You really gotta be like, you know what? I understand that these people aren't good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really have a vision. You gotta have a vision. You gotta really be able to, like, so you gotta be able to pull nothing from something. I mean, you gotta pull something from nothing and turn that into a work of art. You know what I'm saying? Of course, these things are always going to show. Of course, these things are always going to show the rigid edges, but for the most part, you can smooth them down. It may not be fine, but you can, to the point where, like, okay, like this don't cut me when I rub my finger on it, you know? So, you know, like, I think if you're a creator, you can do stuff like that. It's good. I think it's good. I think that really goes to show how creative and how expressive you are at the same
free
time, you know?
acting workshops for the local children, not telling them that it was for a film.
And we invited people who was interested on a workshop on acting. I never mentioned we was gonna make a film after the workshop. It was just free workshop. They would get the tickets, the bus ticket, and sandwich and Coke.
Hundreds of kids from these communities came to the workshops, none of them having any acting experience. And by letting them improvise scenes from the movie, they were able to see their raw and genuine performances without any pressure or filters.
And we had a lot of people interested. I selected 200 boys. So we would do 3 groups every day for a month. In the end of the exercises, we would ask them to improvise scenes. Well, let's suppose you're a policeman, you're a drug dealer, and of course they were improvising the scenes of the film. So they start rehearsing the film without knowing that that was part of the film. When we shot the film, they knew the scenes more or less. and they never got the script. They were allowed to improvise and to change positions, so they were almost playing themselves. That's why it's so authentic.
But besides the 17-year-old Rocket, who had never faced a camera before, one of the most memorable and iconic roles of the
One thing
film
I
is the
one thing I've realized about that's one of those things that always sounded easy, but it sounds hard, right? Play yourself. That's one of those things where it's like, how? You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be that subconscious thought behind, like, I got to add a little bit more, right? I got to add a little bit more because you don't want your true authentic self to come off as like this dry, you know, uninteresting person, right? For these guys, how do they just do it because it's just like, okay, they understand. There's no thought. There's just no thought. I'm a piece of shit or I'm a monster or I'm this person that wants to get out, so I'm going to do that, right? But when it comes to that, there has to be a sense. They all know what movies are. I think everybody understands that actor, especially in these kind of impoverished countries, actors, doctors like that, those lines that a normal American, a U.S. American kid just is like, okay, I'm just gonna do that because of money, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, right? They doing it, I wonder if like they see those ways and they're just like, let me live up to that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's
character
it's
of Lil
interesting.
Zay, the main
It's interesting.
antagonist of the story, played by Leandro Firmino. Lil Zay, aka Zay Pequeno, is one of the most horrifying characters ever to appear in film, and the brutal monster that Lil Zay is unfortunately not a creation of fiction, but a real person who once lived in and terrorized the favelas of Rio de Janeiro.
Tadinho caralho, meu nome agora é Zé Pequeno, porra. Tadinho caralho, meu nome agora é Zé Pequeno, porra.
The actor who played him, however, actually was from the City of God, and had no ambitions whatsoever to become an actor. He only went to the workshop to keep his friends company.
Foda-se, uma coisa muito nova pra mim, cara. Super nova. Às vezes eu mesmo paro pra pensar que assim dentro de casa, caramba. Pô, tô fazendo filme.
When we first meet Lil Zay as a kid, he calls himself Lil Dice, and he appears to be just an oversmart boy, but we soon realize he enjoys participating in violence and killing people.
Marreco, aí, vamos pra tu. Vai ficar beleza, tu vai precisar. Vamos.
Throughout the film, we really start to
Man, I hate that we have to like blur stuff like that out, man. I hate that, man. It's like people can't like creatively express themselves more. And if we did start letting that happen, bro, people would just over abuse it, man. It's just like fuck, man. It's just like it's easier just to not give it than to give it. It's so fucking shit, bro. It's so shit. It's like remember when Twitch let nudity kind of be like a thing? Kind of like, but it has to be through like art. You know what I'm saying? People just fucking destroy it, bro. It's like
despise him because of his attitude and actions. When he grows up, he gives himself the title Lil Zay, and wears that title like a godlike figure. Lil Zay is not your typical Hollywood villain whose violence is somehow justified. Apart from the fact that he lives in this ruthless city, he has no reasons to kill, but he still chooses to, because it gives him some kind of pleasure. In one of the most shocking scenes of the film, we see Lil Zay and his gang forcing a young child who is barely old enough to hold a gun to shoot another innocent kid, just to prove himself, even asking him if he wants to be shot in the hand or the foot. At that moment, we really get to see the true nature of Lil Zay's brutality, and just how senseless the violence really is. Because violence for him is merely a fun activity. While the kid does it because he wants to survive, Lil Zay simply enjoys the thrill of it.
Jesus!
Quer tomar o tiro aonde? No pé ou na mão?
No pé ou na mão?
Na mãozinha, né?
Oh my God, bro.
Despite never having acted before, Leandro Firmino ended up playing one of the most terrifying and realistic villains
Whoa.
in film history, and the kid who's getting shot in the foot was only 5 years old, somehow delivering an incredibly realistic performance which makes you hold your breath throughout the entire scene. But the reason that City of God feels so realistic is not only due to the casting of these kids, it was also their specific filmmaking process and how they went about shooting these scenes. Director Fernando Meirelles intentionally didn't show them a script or made these kids hit certain marks, because performing would have felt too forced. Instead,
Okay.
the cameraman would be
That's how
like
you
a
do it
fly
then.
on the wall, observing how these kids would react to one another in certain situations.
There was a script, because I never showed them any script. So I said, today we're gonna do that scene that you come here and you ask him, and that's how we would, rehearse, and then shoot. Watch the film carefully. You see that there's no continuity at all. I would never give them marks to hit, you know, just let them play like a
Because they
team,
could never hit
like
the marks to
like
begin
a
with.
performance. And our cameraman, our DP, Cesar Shaloni, prepared the light. There was no stands on the set, and he would just grab as a documentary the thing really happening. And that's how we shot.
W
And that's why
cameraman,
it
bro.
feels so authentic.
This guerrilla style of filmmaking is what makes City of God feel so realistic, and it works so well because of how style and substance support each other. Because the film was shot on multiple locations high up in the favelas that were notoriously hard to reach, the crew was small and the gear had to be light. The handheld cameras didn't just make the crew more flexible, it also gave the film this documentary style look that added to the story's narrative of its gritty, raw and unstable environment, which in and of itself wasn't perfect either. That's why the main thing that immediately stands out when you first see City of God is its unique visual style. The film was shot on analog 16mm cameras, which on the one hand were chosen because they're cheaper, lighter and easier to move around, but the lower quality film also adds a lot of grain and rawness to the image. And for the wide landscape shots, higher quality 35mm film was used, giving the movie this nostalgic image of Rio de Janeiro. But another unique aspect is the way the story is beautifully told through the use of color and editing. The story takes place across 3 decades, the 60s,
That Breaking
the
Bad
70s,
color.
and the 80s. In the 60s, gangs are just starting to form, and the city is slowly deteriorating, so the color palette is warm and yellowish, and the editing has a natural, unhurried rhythm. By the 70s, coldness starts to take over, the editing starts to get more chaotic, and the color palette shifts with it, becoming colder and more unsaturated. And by the 80s, we're in a full-blown drug war, and the entire film is draped in a dark, monotone atmosphere. As these
Bro,
kids grow
it's so cool how you can portray things, man, through like different mediums like that. It's so fucking sick, man. It's so sank. I think it's great, man. I think this is so cool. I think this is
from the
so cool,
60s
man.
to the 80s, the environment of the City of God grows more and more dangerous. The characters go from naive children coming to terms with the world to ruthless criminals. The only thing that remains constant is the killing. They kill as kids and they kill as adults.
Tu ouviu, moleque? Tem que formar com nós aqui, senão tu tá fudido. Galinha, tu tá morto.
The world of City of God is one without authority, where the young makes the rules. But it's frightening how young these kids actually are. They play with guns like they are toys, and are praying before shootouts but have no real concept of life or death. These kids simply don't know any better. This is the life they were born into.
O que você vai querer ser quando você crescer? Ah, não sei não. Mas eu não quero ser nem bandido nem policial. Ué, por quê? Ah, porque eu tenho medo de tomar tiro.
Think about the world you grew up in, the role models you had, and the examples of success around you. Now imagine that none of that existed. You have no one to guide you, barely have any education, and no idols to positively influence you. That is the world of City of God.
Mas para o governo e os ricos, não importava o nosso problema. Como eu disse, a cidade de Deus fica muito longe do cartão postal do Rio de Janeiro.
In a place like City of God, the gangsters are the success story. They are the ones with the money, the clothes, and the respect. For most of these kids, becoming a gangster is the fastest way of achieving success and power. And so the only question becomes whether you're willing to do what it takes to get it. Even though our narrator Rocket
Bro, this thing's true just in general when it comes to a lot of these things. You know, I'm not gonna go too much into this, but that's just the case. Anything, man. It's crazy how our minds can gravitate towards these things. You know what I'm saying? It's just that reward factor. That reward factor of you see somebody with bright colors, you know, this extravagance, this collective of people and knowledge around. That's just so big. That's so big compared to what you see now, man. And as a kid, it's so difficult to come out of that unless you aren't inherently born with that. You know what I'm saying? You are inherently born with that information and that knowledge within you. Like this don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? This don't feel right. And sometimes, and not even sometimes, I think a lot of time, you know, a lot of people are born like that, but there's so much difficulty and pain behind it. It's just like you can't do anything but fight it, you know, and fighting against it is one of those things like, bro, I'm scared to die. It's like, bro,
faces the same poverty, peer pressure, and temptations as his peers, he finds a legitimate escape route and purpose through the lens of his camera. While all the other characters choose violence, Rocket uses art as his weapon and channels his ambition into a passion for photography rather than gang violence.
Tá bom aqui? Tá ótimo.
Nobody expected City of God to become this popular. It had no English dialogue, not a single known face, and a cast with no experience. And yet, it earned 4 Academy Award nominations.
Cesar Charlone for City of God.
Danielle Resende for City of God.
Braulio Mantovani for City of God.
For City
That's
of
good.
God, Fernando Meirelles.
On top of that, City of God sits on every list of the greatest films ever made, and inspired a whole new wave of Brazilian cinema.
There was several, 10 or 12.
I was born that year, by the way.
Don't want to. Same environment, same kind of.
Don't want to be that guy, but
like a wave of films that revealed this world for Brazil, which was good.
But for Brazil itself, not everyone agreed on its reputation of the city. Its authenticity was questioned for poor representation, stating that it reduced an entire community to its worst moments, showing the world the violence while leaving out everything else. But according to its directors, visibility, even painful visibility, was better than silence. The sad reality is that many young boys and girls who appeared in the film went back to the neighborhood.
That's one problem a lot of these really like impoverished countries will go through. It's like, understand, there's a lot of love and culture and rich, heritage behind a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? But the difficult part is that the reality is that unfortunately death is very big. You know what I'm saying? You see the violence, and unfortunately that violence it's bigger. It's usually bigger than the culture and the heritage and everything behind it. You know what I'm saying? People always want things, and that's also one of those things where it's like they're not inherently doing anything wrong or saying anything wrong, but it's one of those things where you can look at it like you're actually doing more damage. You know what I'm saying? You're doing more damage by trying to not acknowledge or trying to be like, well, you didn't show any of the good. And sometimes I think that's one of those things where you just got to find that fine line. It's again that fine line of like, is it too much? Is it too little? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. I think that's one of those things even I don't know, or I don't have at least an answer for. I couldn't give anything. You know what I'm saying? Throw food by again. But it is interesting. It is interesting. I will say that. For sure.
Neighborhoods they came from, and some
But
struggle to find any work at all. But
if you know what I'm trying to get at, but I can't say it,
still managed to leave a mark on everyone, the ones who watched it, as well as everyone involved in it.
And so City of God was a very important book, especially for the story of the favelas in Brazil. How powerful it was, that journey. It was a story of the country, of what was happening. But he did in a beautiful way that it was so cinematic that people all over the world loved it. But we did never thinking that it would take that size, and it changed my life.
So that was a lie. You did have somebody that was
doesn't give you easy
just
answers.
lying.
By the end of the film, kids are the
I guess
winners
you gotta have
within
something.
Cidade de Deus, and they are the ones left in charge. But as the last shot of the film shows, while one cycle ends, another begins. The next generation of children will likely grow up to kill more people. City of God is probably the greatest gangster film of them all. It shows that most gangsters in the world don't monologue about family and wear suits and ties. Most people affected by gangs are born in poverty and are drawn into conflict. City of God is about that reality. There is no glamour in this world. It may not be the most celebrated gangster film by the majority of people, but no other crime film has ever come close to the truth. Because poverty and gang conflict don't end when the credits roll. This story is still happening somewhere in the world right now. If you want to watch one of the films that directly influenced City of God, I highly recommend checking out Bijot, The Law of the Weakest, an incredibly raw Brazilian crime film showing the lives of kids growing up in the favelas surrounded by crime with no way out. Available to watch on Mubi in the Netherlands and many other countries. And if you're looking for more realistic crime...
Good video, man. Good video, man. Hell yeah. Oh, 2 weeks ago. Look at that. It makes up for it, man. You deserve it. You fucking deserve it. W video, man. W video. Just all good videos, by the way, from everybody. I enjoy these videos. Let me give me 1 second. Let me because it's still kind of early. Let me take a seat really quick. Oh man. Standing is better, by the way. God, I'm so much better than everybody. Holy shit, bro. I don't mean to be that guy, but I don't mean like I do mean to be disrespectful. I do. I do. I am better. Okay. All right. We're not gonna watch that. We came. This is already enough for like something to do by yourself and watch by yourself. We're not watching the past of Keanu, bro. That shit's pain. Um. Oh, okay, the movie didn't come out yet. Did it? Ooh, that's too long. That's too long. That's too long. If I had a little more time, I definitely watch that with you guys. It's about will the Elder Scrolls 6 be amazing? And it says yes, it will. Yes, it will. I think that's cope. I mean, nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened yet. Uh, what is this? Well, how you guys doing today, man? Hope you guys are doing good, man. Seriously, seriously, man. I know it may come off as a little weak and stupid, but I genuinely hope you guys had. I genuinely hope you guys had. Um, genuinely had a good time watching, man. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it, man. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely fucking enjoyed it. You know, for some information, dude.
So the scene starts off when we got
This movie right here, Kung Fu Hustle, peak, peak. I suggest you guys watch that. It's like one of those fun movies. You know what I'm saying? Yeep, man, yeep, yeep, man, yeep, yeep, man. Kick ass, kick ass. Might go back and watch that. I might watch that. I might watch that. Yeep, man, yeep, man. Looking for it. Give me one second. If you guys are wondering, I turned off for when it comes to my YouTube history. I actually turned it off. It's been off for a very long time, even before I started. Might be like, dumb Silky, why do you do that? Well, if you fucking listen and let me tell you, I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? In reality, YouTube suggestions sometimes don't be hitting for me, right? I know I've said it before, is that this is me, this is my fault for creating that, right? I created that algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I created that. But when you turn it off, right? And you just go to like an unscripted YouTube, right? You just go to unscripted YouTube. You can create some of the best content for yourself ever to like watch because it's so fresh. There's nothing else to it, right? It is just what you searched up. I suggest you guys do that once in a while because it allows you to really only bank on what either comes up on that sidebar or what the people you subscribe to post. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you're gonna get is what they post. You know what I'm saying? Uh, video. Then try to find something quick, but I guess there's nothing. I guess there's nothing right now. What do we what do we do? Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Just talk for a little bit. Um, but I'm like I said, bro, I'm genuinely like I said, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Like I said, I'm learning a lot from this streaming. I'm learning a lot. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. I'm not just trying to, because I want this to grow. I do want this to grow. I do want to reach out to more people, right? And oh man, where did it go? Fuck, fuck it, bro. Fuck it. But Yeah, I do want this. I do want, like I said, I'm doing more to make sure we're gonna start growing as a channel. Start putting out a little bit more, putting a little bit more out there. What I'm saying? Hell, even today, just trying to stream for more than the hour, right? Because I am progressively enjoying this more. You know what I mean? In fact, it kind of sucks that I don't have any other video. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna force it. I just don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? What's this? That's 1,500 a week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're all dealing with inner delusions when we do that type of shit. So, but nonetheless, man, I think it's just a lot of fun doing this, talking, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I know it's only gonna get it better. Of course, like anything, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, of course it's gonna get good when I have people. But it really is, like I said, I really am enjoying the process of doing this, you know what I'm saying? So I do want to add more. I do want to add more. I do want to create more content. And I want to start streaming a little bit longer. Tomorrow I'm gonna try and hit that 3 hour mark. I actually could have started a little bit earlier today. I could have started sooner today. As you can see, me yawning. In fact, when I got home, I guess got home around like 1, maybe 12:40, 12:50-ish. Went to sleep for like I think like 30 minutes to an hour. Woke up, was still kind of tired. I could have gotten up and maybe just had the energy for the rest of the day. My body is exerting like because I'm doing more stuff. My body is requiring more energy and it requires more. So I'm becoming a little bit more tired, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing for me. For me, that shows progression and that shows growth. You know what I'm saying? Because I only hit these states when my body is being used and utilized. You know what I'm saying? This is not like tired to the point of like it's not that tired where it's like, oh my God, bro, like I just can't do this shit no more. I'm really not getting no sleep. Nah, that's not the case at all. It generally just like, improvement. It's improvement. So um, but yeah, I'm gonna join us. I'm gonna do some more research. Surprisingly, that's one thing. Even though that's actually one thing I want to get into, networking. I just refuse to do schooling on it because I just hate sitting down at a desk and unironically, no, but you're doing it. That's what you're doing, you dumbass. I'm gonna catch that motherfucker. Watch. I'm gonna catch it. Yeah, I ain't gonna see no other bug keep fucking flying in here. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta fix my internet. You know what I'm saying? Um, or at least get my own plan to where I'm the only one that has this connection. You know what I'm saying? And at least if that's the case, then it's gonna be top tier. Get that shit in my room, have that shit ping directly to my fucking like connected directly to my thing, and call it a day, bro. Call it a day. You know what I'm saying? It don't even have to be that great. You know what I'm saying? It's like $70-$80 a month. You know, but yeah, like I said, I am trying those things. I am ultimately I just give me some time before I start actually, before I utilize this bad boy right here. I'm actually probably going to return this one. Um, Most likely going to return this. I'm just going to order the one online because, like I said, while I'm waiting anyway. So I'm going to order the one online. Like I said, I got a little button. I do like it for that ergonomic reason. Is that the right way to use that word? We ain't gonna search it up. We know we right. We know we right. To like move it around, you know what I'm saying? And also have the pivot point so no matter what the case is, as long as you're steady to an extent, the shit's gonna be smooth. It's gonna be smooth, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's important, you know what I'm saying? I think it's important. Like you said, I'm really enjoying this a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely try and do more and reach out, you know what I'm saying? Now as like the type of stuff that I want to start posting, you know what I'm saying? Um, I think I'm just gonna post obviously I'm gonna post the good clips, you know what I'm saying? But as I do look, even just from today, just like doing the thing, I realized that, at least for me, right? At least for me, if somebody were to see my clips, right? But okay, he's cool, you know what I'm saying? There's probably gonna be a couple moments where there's some laughter, some banter, some joking, and it's not gonna be that whole, loud thing or whatever, right? So for me, that's like one of those things where at least I hope I can portray that well when it comes to my clips. You know what I'm saying? My clips, my things, because I just want to post, these moments for my streams. You know what I'm saying? Start enjoying them. I'm gonna look back through some of my videos and post some of that information as well, or start posting some of that stuff. And yeah, man, just progressive a bit. You know what I'm saying? Just really. Now you see that eye to it. That's that heavy eye sleep. I'm getting sleep, but what I'm saying. These last few hours, I'm just gonna take a little break. You know what I'm saying. Like I said, I want this, but I don't want to burn myself out. So I'm gonna start doing some things. But I'm just gonna enjoy like a little bit of time to myself, and actually, you know, just play my game. You know what I'm saying? Haven't gotten the chance to play it all day, and maybe that's a problem, but I have set, like I said, this time aside to, to stream, and I'm like, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it for sure. So, um, other than that, what else? Nah, that's about it, man. That's about it, man. That's about it. Like I said, hopefully, like I said, we just keep progressing from there. Eventually, like I said, I might try and dual stream, and just to see how it is, and see if it's not if my computer can, it's really if my Wi-Fi. Um, like I said, I figured out why, you know what I'm saying? And this is something that I couldn't really gain from research and knowledge. It was kind of really just trial and error. But I'm glad, like I said, I do know how computers work, to some degree, you know what I'm saying, to some degree, right? Where I'm able to break certain things down. Like I said, the reason a lot of my stuff was loading slow was due to the fact that I was, like I said, because I was partitioning my things, some of that information, when you create a partition, the computer doesn't see it as a full drive, right? It is literally, yes, it's a part of the same drive, but it's a different part, right? So when you have two forms of information, and you can't stop it, it's inevitable. Most files require the C drive, or it requires a drive that contains your operating system, right? Because that is what allows the computer to function, as it gives it the user the interface. That's what allows us to click, access the things that we do. So when I partition my C drive, me thinking, okay, this is going to be organized. Essentially, the computer now has to be like, okay, it's here, but another part of it's here. I got to create a bridge because I know these things are here. I got to create a bridge to connect them, but that's going to take time. So it's going to hiccup. It's going to hiccup whenever it needs to connect. And that connection is not going to be as strong for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, it really just comes down to, they say I just no longer do it. Actually, we can look at it right now together. Give me a second. Here we go. Right here. So as you can see right here, nothing's been put into my C drive, right? Except my OS and maybe required things, right? And as you see, it's getting filled up, slowly getting filled up, right? I don't really plan on adding anything to this. In fact, I have to, like I said, I want to wait because it's just, like I said, I gotta wait till I get the job and everything like that, so I can start getting back out there and actually create these things, right? But I do want to get another thing so I can access more storage, and then we go from there, right? We go from there. Same thing, me even buying a laptop. I am going to buy a laptop. I just got to set some time aside to go do that. And then from there, we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is going to be a bad investment. I think it's one of those investments where even if I don't utilize it for the streaming, I still will at least have a decent enough laptop, I just got to figure out whether I'm going to go with a gaming laptop or if I'm going to go with a developed laptop, for art. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. But that's it, man. That's it. Other than that, like I said, if you guys are watching or you stuck by, peeked in, like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Cool, appreciate you. I love you. I want you. I need you. You guys are great people, man. You guys are great people. But I'm even better. I'm even better. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. Take good, do good, eat good, sleep good, smell good, feel good, garden good. Let's add something new in there, man. Garden good, man. Just go fucking garden good. Guys, take care, right? Guys, take care. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. And then, like I said, lot planning for the future. Stick with me though. Stick with me, man. We gonna get through it. We gonna get through it. All right. Bye.